What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Onyxcoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. The purpose of this video is to discuss where I think the price is going to be by the end of this week, over the coming days, where I think the price will be by the end of February, in other words, by the end of this move, whenever we have our next phase up here, which I think will be very soon, and then, of course, where we will be by the end of the cycle. And hopefully we can identify any potential stopping points along the way and in between, too. So a rather detailed path forward for Onyxcoin is what I want to go for in this video. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, guys. Let's not waste any more time. So here we are, Onyxcoin, doing some stuff on the daily, just doing some classic stuff on the daily, being volatile, moving up, moving down, moving up, moving down, volatile as hell. And actually, before, I was going to say I don't want to waste time, but I'm going to waste time for just a second here, okay? Onyxcoin, for those of you that don't know, is one of the more tradable coins, at least from what I've noticed, that I hold. It seems to be very tradable, right? There's a few coins that are boring, some are kind of unpredictable, but Onyxcoin, whenever it stops, man, I mean, you can just buy the low, sell the high. Hopefully you're not doing it opposite, but at these stopping points, I mean, it's a very, very tradable coin, right? Like, you just put a line there and you put, oops, those are not straight lines. But if you just identify where its resistance points are, and then you identify where its support points are, you might not nail it perfectly every time, but you can trade this thing. There's at least a few opportunities, if not several opportunities, given in every kind of range that we have, right? There's at least been a couple opportunities here to buy low and sell high. If you wanted to do some momentary day trades, short-term day trades. I don't normally discuss stuff like that because I advocate the long-term hold. I think a lot of people get wrecked on the short-term day trades. But man, if you're looking for a tradable coin, Onyxcoin is definitely where it's at. Now, however, I suspect that it will not be too much longer will it be tradable, right? It might go down a little bit more. I suspect that we could see the price regress back to about 10 cents, even just below 10 cents over the coming maybe coming days. But sometime next week, if not by the end of this week, I think we'll be ripping and running up to the upside. I do not suspect that this consolidation phase will break out to the downside. I suspect it will break out to the upside. And the pace at which it breaks out will be similar, if not identical, to what brought us into this, right? I suspect it will be very similar, again, if not identical. That's what I will choose to say there. If it were to be not at the same pace, I assume that it could be a little slower. Generally, you know, if this took essentially 1, 2, 3 days to happen, maybe it takes a week to happen instead. But I will take this same move in a week's time, any day of the week, man. That's not anything to worry about. So you are pretty overbought on the daily. This is what gives me some pause, some kind of yeah, let's just say pause, a little bit of weariness with calling for it to bounce here. You could bounce here, but likely you would keep going lower to your overbought zone to find support there. And if you found support there, it's not perfect, but I feel like it lines up with these lows a little bit better here in the RSI. Maybe if I draw it like that, I don't know. Again, it's not perfect, but still, it lines up better with this kind of trend more so. And of course, you know, you've got this. If you were to link the lows properly here with the RSI, it would go all the way down here. A drop like that for XCN, you guys, if we were to see that kind of drop in the RSI, which I don't think we will, but if we were, the price would correct severely. Like, we would see this thing back below a cent, back below like 70% of a cent even, right? So I don't expect that to happen. You never know. It had an immense pump. A completely possible and even acceptable retracement would be back to 0.0077 right there, if not even half a cent itself. Both of those would be acceptable. I don't expect that we break out of this to the downside, but it's always important, I think, to address the risks, address the downside, because that way, if you're only expecting the upside, you don't get totally, let's just say, rolled over in your expectations. I don't know, you know, if something like this happens and you're expecting it to happen, you won't panic sell. At least likely you won't panic sell. You'll just buy more, where if all you're expecting is the upside and then that happens, you'll see this as a devastating event, not a higher low, not finding support at areas that would make sense to find support, not a key buying area, and you might make the bad decision to panic sell. So we're going to move on from that. But it is good to talk about the negatives for that reason alone. The daily suggesting you would go a little bit lower. Being in this, again, this somewhat tradable range that I would call XCN a very tradable coin, you're at the high ends of this range. You might not return to the very low ends of this range, but something, again, around 10 cents, if not even just below 10 cents, should be on deck here, on the docket for us to explore. So looking at the 4-hour RSI here, you know what? I'm trying to get this thing to where it's just not in the way, and I hate this thing, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't know why it's even there in the first place. 4-hour RSI is not looking too bad, but it does agree with some downside, I suppose. This would have been your attempt here based on the price action to see a new high, right? And this is something that I said back whenever we were breaking out of this zone. It looks like we're breaking out of this consolidation phase here, but last time, XCN did this to us last time. Let's go back. Let's see if we can find this here. Was it this? No, was it this? There was something, I can't remember. Maybe it was further back. Something like, I don't know. I can't find it, but there was something where this exact thing happened, okay? Where XCN literally, it broke out of its pattern here, right? And that's what happened here. It broke out right there. But then instead of actually, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Instead of breaking out of this small pattern, really what it was doing was finding resistance and showing the overall larger pattern is what's at play. So I don't think we broke out. I think we looked like we were to break out. If we were to break out, if this was to be interpreted as a breakout, the RSI would have gotten into the overbought zone. We wouldn't have turned around and rejected the overbought zone. So the fact that we did tells me that we are, of course, still consolidating. If we're still consolidating and we take this as a range, and it is a range from a high to a low here, we are above the green line. The green line is the 50% of this range. So in other words, we're at the upper 50% of this line. After finding resistance up here, I would suspect we return to the lower 50% of this area before finding support, something around just below 1 cent, if not just above 1 cent. I don't know if I said 10 cents earlier. If anybody heard me say 10 cents, I hope you understand that was a typo in my brain. I meant to say 1 cent, not 10 cents. So around 1.06 cents to about 0.9 cents itself, somewhere in that range is what I would expect. If we see a high to a low of this given range, I'm going to take away the greater outlying range here. The expectation would be to go just above a cent, if not just below a cent there on the golden ratio. And again, that fits with the pattern as well. So that's kind of what my expectations would be. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, you've got hidden bearish divergence and an overall downtrend kind of, yeah, it would make sense that you go down. You probably resolve this. You probably find lower prices either today or tomorrow, but I suspect either starting tomorrow or the next day, you will begin moving up again, right? You'll begin moving up. We'll probably be at prices that are here or higher by tomorrow's close would be my guess. But between now and the end of the day, I would assume we go lower, and probably at some point tomorrow we're at our lows as well. So if anyone's looking to buy Onyxcoin, and by the way, one moment, take a pause here. That is not me selling. That's not me saying sell. It's not a good time to sell Onyxcoin, you guys. It's a good time to buy. If you want to play, again, if you want to play the game, you want to do these short-term trades, okay, that's fair. But in my opinion, if you were to sell, you were to do that short-term trade stuff, that was the time to do that, right? Or even these highs here above 12 cents. We're just below 12 or 1.2 cents. You know, that might have been your last stop. You could sell here and likely snag a nice little short-term time frame play, but it depends on what you're doing. It depends on your risk tolerance, and it depends on how effective you are at executing your game plan. If you're new to investing, if you're somebody that doesn't have much experience trading, even if you want to try to maximize money as most as you can, I'm just going to say that the best way, the fastest way generally to lose money is to try to make money as fast as you can. The fastest way to lose money is to try to make money as fast as you can. And alternate to that, actually, the fastest way to make money, as contrary as it sounds, is to do it slowly. A wise man told me this one time, you guys, and his name's Rodney. Rodney, you'll probably never see this, but I love you, Rodney. He told me, very successful man, you guys. He told me that, damn, well, I got distracted. I'm sorry. I heard my daughter cry. She's okay. I'm sorry. I heard my daughter cry. I forgot what I was saying. What did he tell me? What did he tell me? I can't even remember what he told me. Oh man. Well, just replay it because I said it, but now the spotlight's on me and I can't even remember. So, anyways, guys. Anyways, that's anticlimactic right there. I forget what it is. You guys ever feel like something's right on the tip of your tongue and I can't remember what it was? Damn it. I said it right before, but then my daughter cried. It distracted me. But anyways, guys, I think I've made the point. I think I've said everything that I need to say. That was a kind of anticlimactic finish. I had this grand crescendo that was about to happen, but that's okay, man. I think that we are about to move up higher. I don't think that we're going to move too much lower. If you're looking to buy this coin, I would say probably between now and the end of the day, there will be a little bit of a drop. I bet if you waited, we got 20 hours left. I bet if you waited more to where this day was halfway done, or even on the later half of the day, I would assume assume it's probably at a more opportune price, generally around a cent. If you can buy at a cent, if I could put a buy order in, I'd probably put it in just above a cent, you know, but we're basically just above a cent now, on our way to higher prices. I absolutely expect that Onyxcoin XCN is going to go to higher prices, okay? By the end of February, the target area to expect, in my opinion, would be anything from, well, based off of this fib, technically 2.8 cents to 7 cents, maybe 2.8 to 4.7 cents, depending on how you'd want to look at it. But that's a strong move. So I'd say really 2.8 to even 10 cents is on the table, but probably 7 cents. Just looking at the price action there. Okay, that's by the end of February, just based off of this fib here. If we take the overall fib, and I actually want to take the Coinbase one because I think we're respecting the Coinbase one more. That volume is through the roof, man. Oh my god, I can't even. Like what? Can't even do anything with that. That's what? When did this happen? Why is it like this? What can I? This is ridiculous. It hasn't been like this. What the hell, you guys? That's bullish, right? Like that's gotta be some kind of bullish sign in itself right there. What is going on, XCN? Let me see here. This was gonna be for another video, but we'll just try this. Okay, that that's better. That's better, man. I don't know what was going on with the other one. I'll have to reload that. TradingView had a glitch or something, man. This is better. There we go. Okay. What? Why is it like this? Anyways, okay, so we're at 1.19 cents right now. High to low. We were already trying to establish a range, right? The range we were establishing before the volume got in the mix there was something around 2.9 cents. It's different because it's on Coinbase, but essentially 2.9 to 4.8 cents with a high of about 7.2 cents there. Okay, so something in this range, and we'll try and make more sense out of it as we continue this analysis. Okay. Overall high to low here. You found resistance right now at your golden ratio. Okay, I'm going to delete these lines for now. We'll bring them right back. That's our range lines. Now we have our fib lines. You found your golden ratio as resistance. You pulled back to your 0.5 to find support, and now the next target would be the 786 to the 886 area. So again, the next target area is here. Okay, which is right in between these two lines as well, right? It's actually kind of central to the range of this line, right? It's like right in the middle, literally. So what I like about this is we're getting two different metrics, or two different fibs, but both on retracement bases from a cyclical high to low, and then also on an extension basis from this high to low of the range that we're breaking out of now, having this immaculate kind of, it almost looks like a W pattern here, right? And I would call that a W pattern. And likely W patterns they overcome where they began, right? The leg here, the finishing part of the W tends to go above that there. The fact that our extensions from the high to low here, right, high to low, our extensions line up pretty well with this range here, right? That's the range that we got there. And then our high to low here, the retracements are within this range, right? Kind of refining it a little bit more. What I love is that it essentially tells us that the most likely target is in this circle. You're very likely to go somewhere within this range, but as you get closer to this line on either side, it's less of a likelihood, right? So you likely don't stop at 2.9 cents. You likely don't achieve 7.5 cents, but something in between, with the most likely chance being somewhere around 3.5 probably to about 6 cents, something in that range, with the possibility of coming just outside or just beneath this zone definitely on the table. But I think that's the most kind of refined area that would make the most sense to me for by the end of this move, right? Anyways, outside of that, what I would expect for XCN going forward from a high to a low, and I am using the Coinbase one, not the all-time high, because that's not the technical all-time high, right? The all-time high for XCN, if we can find it, it's right here. It's different. It's different on this chart, right? The all-time high for XCN happened back in May, June of 2022, where here on Coinbase we don't even have it. I guess it did happen in June, but the high happened in July, so we didn't have the high of June, okay? But from this high to low here, we're respecting the golden ratio. Coinbase is a bigger exchange. XCN was probably on some smaller exchanges back when it had this high. My assumption is these extensions might be better respected than the extensions if I drew it on this. So we're going to use these extensions, okay? The minimum expected target here would be 42 cents essentially, with the maximum expected target being something around $2.36. That doesn't sound right. I don't know if I got the actual low. Let me see. There's the actual low. There you go. 42.3 cents to $2.42, something in that area. And yes, it can go higher. It absolutely can go higher, okay? Right now, you're at about 1.2 cents. Going up, I got to say too, guys, if I was looking to buy XCN, it depends. I'm gonna get distracted for a second here, and then we'll bring it back, okay? If I was looking to buy XCN and I had no XCN at all, I had no Onyxcoin at all, I would buy right now blindly. I would just buy. I don't care if it's going to dump. I would just buy. If I have XCN, if it's a large part of my portfolio and I'm looking to add more, if it's not the largest coin that I hold, but it's still a significant part of my portfolio and I'd like to add more, I already have exposure. I can wait. I can be patient. I can allow the price to come down and come to me and buy at that 1 cent area. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want to do. But again, the people, if you don't have skin in the game, the reason why I would advocate that you buy immediately right now is because even though I am expecting we go down a little bit, just a little bit, you never know whenever this thing moves up. And it's oftentimes whenever it looks like it wants to move down that it actually does move up. So I'm just saying that because we are moving up a little bit. So there's always that possibility I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. It's inevitable. So anyways, from the current price here, minimum target would be a 35x, okay, from the current price at about 1.2 cents. That's at a 42.3 cent target. 35x is your minimum target if you see new all-time highs, and I think you will. The maximum target would then be about a 210x, 208x, something like that, right? And absolutely, you have the capabilities of going higher, but I don't know if you do, right? I don't know if you would see this $9 price. I mean, not saying you can't. I would think something. You probably, if you were to go higher, you probably don't exceed $4. You probably don't go too much higher above that 1618, but that's kind of my assumption. Now that I've said all that, I got nothing else for you guys. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to watch this video back and figure out where my brain went wrong, what it was that I forgot that Rodney told me. What was it, man? The only reason I forgot is when my daughter cried, it literally threw me off, and then I tried to remember what the good advice was, and now I've got this slew of good advice, because he would give me good advice all the time, man. He's a good guy. Again, shout out to Rodney. Love you, Rodney, but he probably will never see this. But damn, I still can't remember. This is me trying to cling on to a memory, and I can't. So with that, I'll leave it. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Onyxcoin is going to do very, very well, my friends. I expect that by the end of February, we will be likely above 4 cents. We're at 1.2 cents now, with the possibility to buy at once. Genuinely, you put a buy order in at 1 cent, you have a pretty high likelihood, in my opinion, of that order getting filled. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If I was to buy, I'd probably buy just above 1 cent so that I could get in, and that, maybe in case it doesn't go to 1 cent, I can at least front run all the people who put their buy orders in at 1 cent. But there will definitely be, it's a psychological level. There's definitely going to be a lot of orders at that area. So you either will go just below it, or you will find support just above it, or maybe you go right to it. But from 1 cent to something that's above 4 cents, that's like a 3x or more, quote unquote, guarantee by the end of February. Nothing's guaranteed. None of it's financial advice. I'm not a prophet. I don't have a stone tablet to write on that tells the future, right? It's just my guess. So anyways, guys, nothing else to say. For reals, I'm gone this time. Bye-bye.